David Rush is in Spain, so you have me, Jay Sips, being here to support this glorious game planning morning. So Peter Swain is back from vacation, so that is glorious in itself. Waving. Oh no, he's still on vacation, and he's got a David.
Well, I'm not on vacation, but I'm not back in the UK. I'm currently gracing NYC with my presence.
Oh, the New York. I don't think the Big Apple can handle Peter Swain.
Actually, I think it's one of the only cities in the world that can.
They need a bigger apple.
Good morning, all. Good morning, all. So we are in glorious game planning mode today, which, you know what? I want to know how the rest of the week's been. I want to know where you guys are at with the steps that David put in place this week, the conversations. I'm just curious, who has been game planning? What does that look like for you? How often are you game planning? Is this a daily thing you're checking in, a weekly thing, a monthly thing, a yearly thing? Where are we at in our game planning that is glorious to take us forward in the world and be that change? So I did not come in with any thoughts on game planning other than, if it's not measured, it's not monitored, you can't manage it. So I'm curious what we are putting out there. How much are we taking action? Because you can plan all you want, but if you're not doing the things will not happen. So any thoughts on that, Mr. Peter Swain? We have no hands up. We have no one. What do you got for me, brother?
AM's here. AM's ready.
Okay, AM, what do you got?
And he
AM?
pays more attention than I do.
Okay. Peter, always, I'd love to follow you, but thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I've been reflecting for the last week or so, how is my strategy going? And now I've kind of shifted my strategy because I realized that we've been living and thinking the analog economy in the digital economy. And the digital economy, you don't need all the 9-to-5s or the capital to start a business. That is still, in my mind, the analog economy. By the way, nothing I say is the truth. It's a place to look and see if it fits, take it on. If it's not, it's okay. So my strategy now is more bringing the digital economy to the poorest of the poor in the world, especially focused on the economic status of women around the world. Because I found in my own family, especially looking at my parents, my father was the breadwinner my entire life until he passed away. And my mother was the world's best economist because she brought us, we were 10 of us, one passed away when she was born, but 9 of us survived and not only have 3 meals a day because of my mother. So whatever, my father never went to school his entire life. And as long as he was alive, he was able to bring an economy. So my focus is about creating 1 billion women entrepreneurs across the world. And when in a family, when a woman have control over the economy, the average family does really well, not only within the family, but the neighborhood shifts. Because my mother always fed all 9 of us, and whatever food that was left, she invited the neighborhood kids who didn't eat, come and eat in our house. And there were times when she went to bed hungry. I didn't even know that until after she passed away. So looking at my own family, I realized if I were to implement it on a global scale, there is a possibility that we could not only have peace in the world, but we could also have economic freedom around the world. And that's my focus and my strategy. Thank you, each and every one of you, for listening. Those of you who disagree with me, you're welcome to give me a call. Thank you.
Am, I always love your energy, and your mom's a hero. Like that is, and that's what parents do. Parents do things that are hard. We make the plans, we take care of the family, whether it's the mom or the dad, right? We are always looking to make the next generation better. And I believe, you know, for a lot of us, it's probably looking to do better than our parents did for us and their parents did for them, and just continually elevating our existence by being better, not giving our kids our rules and things of that nature. So for today's breakout, which we can perhaps start a little early, let's just talk about our plans. Like, I would like to know for each of you, just what is that glorious game planning look like? How often are you planning? How often are you taking time to stop being busy, to stop being a human, you know, a human doing and being a human being, thinking about what your vision, like AM, and then take it a step further. It's not just a vision. Like AM, I would like to know what the plan of action is to start building those communities. If you're taking it on, and it's not just a rhetorical for now for you to think about, but if you're looking to take it to 1 billion people, what's the first 100? What's the first adopter? What's the first 1,000? How do you get that message to spread? And what does that plan look like? Who is in your corner? How are you influencing people to say yes to that kind of partnership, that kind of vision? And what are you doing to make your vision come alive? Peter Swain.
Absolutely. And one of the first things is I've contacted the International Women's Organization out of the United Nations and working with the UN Foundation. I'm putting together a board of advisors across the world. But Peter's hand is up. I want to hear from Peter. Peter, go ahead.
You want a fun story, Jay? I got a fun story for you. I love fun stories.
Tell me a fun story, Peter Swain. I live for stories, and you have good ones.
And it works into this. So every day I check my calendar the next day. Obviously, look what I'm doing before I go to sleep. Everything's going great, and then the night before last, I looked down at my watch to see my steps, and it says you are free until 4 a.m. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I doing at 4 a.m.? And I go and look at my calendar, and I've never looked at 4 a.m. because I check the next day. Who checks what you're doing at 4 a.m.? And I have a webinar booked, and I'm like, okay, team, whatever that is, just cancel it. That's got to go. And the reason it's at 4 a.m. is because I was supposed to be back in the UK by now, and it would be 9 a.m. and that'd be fine, but it's 4 a.m. And I opened it up, and I'm like, oh no, I'm going to go to hell and catch a sexually transmitted disease if I cancel this. This can't be cancelled. And it was a webinar for 55 kids in Thailand that have been rescued from sex trafficking to teach them AI. Because I think it's one of the most transferable skills that you can get your hands around right now. I think that it removes any language barriers. You know, they can work in Thai and output in English. There's so many potential wins. These are all kids like 14 to 18. So like, first of all, there's no way I can cancel. You can't cancel a webinar with 4 hours notice to 50 kids that you have reached out and pledged that you wanted to support them in order to help. There's no way you could do that. So I had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do this webinar. And it was one of the most beautiful experiences I've had in a very long time. So Peter, I fully, yeah, but I was just going to say, I fully endorse AM's view, and yeah, let's go and change 1 billion. But also, Jay, as you said, like, let's just change 10. Like, let's just start with that. Let's make this easily achievable. And this came from me reaching out to that charity and saying, I love what you do. And I have a vision that the economic output of Thailand could potentially be this, not what we all know it really is right now. And I'd love to help and see if I can train them up. So we're going to do it once a month, which is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it, but hopefully not at 4 a.m. again. So yeah. That was the fun thing, but inside that, hopefully, is something people could take away from it. Everybody here has transferable skills, and it doesn't take too much for you to reach out to a charity and go, "Hey, I want to help and support you here."
And Peter, that's an amazing story, and congrats, brother. I mean, you stepped through. You had that moment, like we all do, where you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this. I want to sleep. Who wants to do this at 4 a.m.? But when you shifted, when you saw what it was, when you saw the opportunity, when you stepped into it, look at the beauty on the other side. Like, that obstacle became a blessing. And that's typically how it is. That's kind of what my message is to AM, to anyone else that has that big dream, that big vision, like Peter just shared. What is that step that you're taking? If you're planning, it's one thing, but what is the first action? What is the thing that you are doing today to move that forward?